Alright, so what's going on everyone, it's Augie, and before we get into the video, like always, if you are new to the channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on the post notification bell so you never miss out on another new video. Also, we just received the join button over here on YouTube, so if you want to support the channel even further, you can go ahead and do so. There are a ton of cool emotes and perks to get along with it, so if you want to go the full length in supporting the channel, and if you want to see more consistent uploads, be sure to join the channel by clicking the join button right below this video. Now, with all said and done, enjoy the video. So I've been thinking, and with the recent events currently circulating within the world of both the Jujutsu Kaisen anime and manga, it's given enough time for everything to build up around the series to an unexpected height. And given that the anime for Jujutsu Kaisen has ended just so recently, it leaves us watchers and readers curious to see what's next for the series. And as a whole, if you take a look at things statistically, Jujutsu Kaisen as of the first season of the anime is already doing more in a majority of categories than what Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba had accomplished during its first season. And now with the recently announced movie for Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0, it has people asking themselves if Jujutsu Kaisen really has what it takes to dethrone the series of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba's insane popularity. And to a certain extent, when you look at it rationally, the manga for Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba's series ended even before the official release of the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba movie, which came out over in Japan earlier this year. So what that means is since the Demon Slayer manga ended before the official release of the movie, there really hasn't been anything to push the series even further other than a game and the second season of the anime, which isn't even out yet, which honestly puts the series of Jujutsu Kaisen ahead of the system. And with the manga still ongoing for a few more years, and with the recent announcement on what this Jujutsu Kaisen movie is going to be about, this just gives the series of Jujutsu Kaisen a brighter future that could potentially end up surpassing the series of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. So in terms of everything animation wise, the path for Jujutsu Kaisen's anime just looks a whole lot better for the support of the series. And just to put that into a little bit of context, that's kind of why today I wanted to talk about what the series of Jujutsu Kaisen has in store for its upcoming succeeding years. So with that being said, let's take a trip on this series, and hopefully by the end of the video I can, with some luck, shed a bit of light on the topic of Jujutsu Kaisen. So for all of us unaware, not too long ago there was a newly announced movie for the prequel of Jujutsu Kaisen, frequently known by Volume 0 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and already so far there has been so much hype revolving around this movie. It's honestly insane, just as it is from all the attention season 1 of the anime has been receiving. So on top of that, it's looking like the benefit from all this is that on top of the movie, it's most certain that sooner or nearly after the arrival of the movie, the second season of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime will shortly come after the return of the Star Plasma Vessel arc, also known as Gojo's past arc. And if you ask me personally, I thought it would be more proper to deliver this movie after the second season of the anime, or at least this next upcoming arc in the anime, but to be fair, it could undoubtedly work both ways. I just thought it could work better with the movie to come out after the Star Plasma Vessel arc. And taking into account everything that the movie could mean for the future of the series, it undoubtedly has you asking yourself, what makes Jujutsu Kaisen so popular? And with a series like Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba skyrocketing in popularity in 2019, is a series like Jujutsu Kaisen following the same footsteps as Yaiba? Well, if you ask me, from a surface level, the series of Jujutsu Kaisen overall already has a more interesting plot and a well-developed world than Kimetsu no Yaiba's anime. And so right off the bat, that alone should be enough, right? Well, not exactly. And from what we've seen, a lot of Demon Slayer's rise in popularity were throughout spikes of certain high-intel animation episodes and directed plot points. In comparison, Jujutsu Kaisen definitely doesn't have the better animation, at least when asking the majority of people. And so the scenes that might retain more of a captivated audience might not be as stunning as for what Demon Slayer did during on episode 19, for example. So it comes to the question of just what in today's day and age makes this series of Jujutsu Kaisen's anime and manga so popular in the mainstream media? Well, naturally, since the anime is keeping such a mainstream attention with its outstanding choreography and animation, along with the amazing and some would say best modern day and age shonen plotline, it needless to say is why it's making such a big impact on the anime and manga fandom. To put it simply though, that's kind of why the manga has skyrocketed in sales and fandom, even more so than Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba sales during the release of the first season of the anime. But more so on the detail to what makes JJK so popular is something you really just have to pick and choose, because debatably there are multiple standpoints on this from a variety of things. For example, you could say some of the biggest points to what makes JJK so popular, it's its outstanding line of cast members. When you look at it, you have your Itadoris, your Megumis, your Todos, your Gojos, etc. And the list pretty much just goes on. And of course, others would say the unique twist on the power system and the world around it, and this is particularly the reason why the sales on the manga become so big, is because these reasons are what keep people in question about about the series that leads them to picking up the manga and reading the series. And this happens for pretty much any anime and or manga that usually gains mainstream attention. And at the end of the day, when you look at it from a certain perspective, the anime is really just there to promote the manga and increasing the sales of the series. And speaking of the manga, as of a couple of weeks ago, translation to an interview with Gege Akutami came out, and in this interview, we got massive information dumps on one of the biggest one being that Jujutsu Kaisen's manga is about halfway over. Now, this means that Gege Akutami plans to have this wrapped up in another 2 years or so, or about 100 chapters and some change. And I personally am of the belief that mangakas sometimes underestimate how long they will continue a series for, as they are somewhat notorious for saying they'd have a manga complete by one point in time, but instead extending that deadline by years. But assuming that Akutami is correct in his estimate, this means for all the mysteries, plot threads, concepts, characters, and ideas all have to be wrapped up in a 2-year span, which in all honesty will pass in the blink of an eye. So if you plan on catching up to the manga anytime soon, expect some of Akutami's trademark breakneck speed pacing and information dense weekly chapters as he starts to possibly rapidly enter the endgame for the series. And this really just goes to show that with a majority of anime and manga that's being focused on at the moment, a series like Jujutsu Kaisen is clearly the shiny one, and with everything that is going to occur within these next couple of years, it gives enough time for a series like Jujutsu Kaisen to build up on its own in due time for its further success in the nearby future. And with a couple of years left in the manga and the movie along with further projects in the series, the upcoming of Jujutsu Kaisen is sure to bring Storm more than what it already has been doing. So I guess now at this point, we're just gonna have to wait and find out what the future has in store for Jujutsu Kaisen. As always everyone, thanks to you all who made it to the end of the video. I hope you all did enjoy the video. I'm honestly super excited to see what's next for the entirety of this series, whether it be for the manga and or the anime. The future is honestly just looking so good for this series, and I can't wait to see what's to come within the next couple of years for the series of Jujutsu Kaisen. But anyways, make sure before you click off the video to drop a comment on your thoughts on the video and let me know your overall thoughts on the series of Jujutsu Kaisen, and if you're either an anime only watcher and or a manga reader. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the Discord if you have not already. We got the Discord up and running again, so join the Discord in the link in the description box down below. Also, shout out to the first legendary member rank of the channel, the Meaning of Nerd. And with that everyone, my Twitter's at AnimeAugie, and I'll make sure to catch each and every single one of you guys in the next video. Peace.